Hi, I'm Zoe. I'm the oldest daughter, and I'm going to be answering some questions that my mom sent me today. The first question is, what is one of my favorite memories growing up in my home? I have a lot of fun memories growing up in my home. One of my favorites, though, is when we owned chickens. We had 3 chickens growing up. I remember going out with our little basket in the morning to collect our 3 eggs. And when Eva cried over the stove the first time that we ever cooked the eggs, claiming that we were killing the chicken. Yeah, that's one of my favorite funny memories. Just having the chickens in general was such a such an experience. The second question is, what do I appreciate now that I didn't appreciate then? Definitely boundaries. Like not being allowed to go to sleepovers at certain people's houses and stuff, or play dates. I didn't understand it then, but I definitely do now. And even just boundaries in general with regulating our days and our sleep schedules and food that we eat. Having boundaries set on that really helped regulate everything. And I am very thankful for that. I didn't understand it at the time. I wanted to eat ice cream for breakfast, but I understand it now and I'm very thankful for it. The third question is, what's a funny or embarrassing memory that you have of mom? I have a few. The first one is when we accidentally bought the wrong lemonade from Superstore. I won't expand any further. She knows exactly what I mean. And the second memory is definitely when she laughs at her own jokes. It is very funny. Sometimes I don't even know what the joke was about. She's just laughing and it just makes it funny and it's hilarious. It's really cute. I love it. Your jokes are so funny sometimes, but you laughing at them I love it. It's so funny. Question 4 is, what is one of the hardest seasons that you went through as a teenager growing up? And how did mom or the family help? One of the harder seasons is when I was around 19, 20 years old. So kind of at the end of my teen years, I guess. But I went through a really rough season. And something that mom did specifically to help was hold me. No questions, no advice, nothing. Just that's all I needed. And it really made me feel understood. She really got me there. And just holding me, it's all I needed. Something that the family did, and more something that she orchestrated, was we'd all go out and do stuff together as a family. It was really nice because it reminded me that my family's there and we all got each other's backs during that season. She also took the time to understand me and what I was going through, which I really appreciated. Next question is there a time that I felt that my mom really got me, or a time I felt she really didn't? Funnier side, definitely my fashion and makeup choices. I really didn't think she got me there. I thought I was like slaying the world away. I was wrong, and I'm glad that I listened to her advice now. On a more serious note, she definitely gets me, or makes me feel like she's got me, when she takes the time to understand me and what I'm going through, and also understanding that I don't like to talk about things right away where she does, and giving me that space before I do talk to her, and her knowing that I will come talk to her when I'm ready to, and understanding that. That shows me that she's got me. The next question is, what's something about motherhood that I understand now that I didn't before? And it's definitely that moms carry a lot so that their kids don't have to. That's something that's super strong. And that it also, motherhood doesn't stop when we grow up. I am calling my mom asking how to cook a chicken. Like it doesn't stop. And I'm a nurse and I still ask her what to do if I have a high temperature. Like it just doesn't stop. The next question is, what is something I want to carry with me into my future from my home? A couple things I want to take with me into my future is, one, showing unconditional love, how her and my family have always shown me and taught me. Staying connected as a family. I feel like that's so important. I never plan to stop. I also never plan to stop stalking from my phone. And also showing up when life gets messy, because life has been messy for everybody. And we have always been there for each other. And that is something that is so beautiful and so important. And I plan to keep doing that for my family and for others. The next question is, how have I seen faith lived out in my home? I've seen it in many, many ways, but to list off just a couple is the relationship between my mom and my dad, and their relationship and how they love us. Also serving is not something that is just done in the church. It's done all throughout the week. It's done every single day, in home, outside of the home. And also worship is never just done at church. I would come home from school, my dad would be playing worship music on the guitar, my mom would be just in the presence of the Lord. And it's something very beautiful. And that really impacted me, and it reminded me that my relationship with God is something that is consistent. It is not something that is on Sundays only. It is a constant relationship. It's like having a best friend. Like it's the motherly love, the fatherly love, all of those things. Every way that they showed me love is how God loves me. And that's how that impacted my relationship with God. The next question is there something that my mom has said that has really spiritually stuck with me? Two things. The first one is it's just a season, and seasons don't last forever. And the second thing is perhaps you were made for such a time as this. I know it's a Bible verse, but she reminds me and it really sticks. The last question, I need to describe my mom in 3 words. Unfortunately, I can't just pick 3 words. So I have 5. The words are safe, supportive, strong, selfless, and faithful. That's it for me. Happy Mother's Day, and I love you, Mom.
Hi, my name is Eva. I'm the second oldest child, and I'm going to read off some questions that my mom got me to answer. Number 1, what is one of your favorite memories of growing up in our home? I would say just playing board games with everybody. I like playing board games, and we're all very competitive people, so it just ends up being chaotic and it's awesome. 2, what's something I did as a mom that you didn't appreciate then, but do now? I would say when she when she told me to be aware of my surroundings. When I was younger, I was like, I hated when she said that, and I wish she wouldn't say that. But now that I'm older, I realize like how good it was for me to actually do that and to actually apply that to my life. 3, what's something funny or embarrassing you remember about me as your mom? I'd say whenever we'd be out in public and you'd hear a song that you'd really like, and so you'd start dancing like in the middle of anywhere, and you try to get us to also dance with you, sometimes me, and I remember being very embarrassed, but it was also really funny, and I love that about you, so that's supposed to be a heart. I don't know if that was a heart. 4, what's the hardest season for you growing up, and how did our family or I help you through it? I would say probably like dealing with insecurity. Everyone, but especially mom, helped me to realize that I am like amazing, I guess. Like she really helped me get over those insecurities, which I really love. 5, was there a time you felt I really got you during your teen years or a time that I really didn't? I'd say there wasn't ever a time that you never had my back or anything. And just throughout my whole life, I knew I could always come to mom when, like, good or bad, anything, like, I always knew I could come to mom and, like, I'd be okay. So, yeah, there's not really a specific time, but just, like, in general. Now that you're older, what do you understand about motherhood that you didn't before? I'd say just how much emotional stress like a mother has to go through, and also just like patience. And I just think how stressful like emotionally might be to have to deal with everything that a mom has to deal with, and just like taking care of her kids and taking care of the house. Like there's so much that they do behind the scenes that you don't really see. What's something you've taken from our home that you want to carry into your own future? I'd say mostly like how I grew up with a very faithful family, and Jesus was like the center of it all. And so in my own family, I want to be able to take that same like faith and bring it into my own home and just train up my kids the way my parents did, because I really felt like I turned out pretty well. Did you see faith lived out in our home, and how was that impacted in your own relationship with God? I used to like go to bed and mom and dad would have worship nights. And I remember like walking downstairs sometimes and mom would be watching like Jesus movies and Jesus shows. And so as a kid, I always just saw it around me, and I just saw how faithful they were, especially because they were very active in the church as well. And I noticed that a lot. So yeah, that impacted me because they taught me about Jesus, and just seeing that, like, I also wanted that. Like, there's no other way I really wanted to live except to live with Jesus and just live, with Him in me. So, yeah, I really think that was probably a really good answer. Was there a moment where something I said or did spiritually really stuck with you? You used to do these things where you would, like, we'd all sit around, like, together in the living room or something, and we watch a sermon, and then we'd all pray for each other and stuff. But it was an idea you had, and I really felt that it impacted me just like spiritually, because like it really taught me how to kind of be bold when it came to prayer, and it just taught me how interested I was in the Bible and in Jesus and in God and just everything, all the above really. And yeah, so those are my answers. Oh, one more. If you forgot. If you could describe me as a mom in 3 words or give me a title, what would it be? Yeah, disciplined, health conscious, and adventurous. Happy Mother's Day.
Hi, I'm Jack. I'm the third oldest. I'm going to read my mom's questions now. What's one of your favorite things growing up in our home? Definitely going on vacations. I think my favorite vacation was the Costa Rica one. I got stuck on a zip line. I surfed for the first time, which was pretty exciting. It was an overall great trip. The water was really nice. Next question. What's something my mom did as a mom that I didn't appreciate then, but I do now? Holding my breath when I see somebody holding a cigarette. Is that fine? Because my mom doesn't want me to get into that stuff. What's something funny or embarrassing you remember about you as a mom? Something funny I remember is when me and my mom were in the kitchen making eggs, and we made a bunch of egg jokes, and for some reason, just at that time, they happened to be really funny. Like, you crack me up. Those egg jokes really cracked me up. All right. Question 4. What was one of the hardest seasons for me growing up, and how did our family help me go through it? I mean, I've kind of lived a pretty great life in this home. I've had great parents, especially my mom. So I haven't really gone through much. Really, I don't think I've gone through anything, which is great. Was there a time you felt that my mom really got me or understood me during my teen years, or a time that she didn't? Probably during school, especially like physics. It's really hard, and she knew that it was hard, and she knew that I was trying hard, as hard as I could. She just helped me know that it was okay, even if I didn't do as good as I wanted to. Now that I'm older, what do I understand about motherhood that I didn't before? It's really hard to be a mom, and when I was younger, I'm glad that I was a relatively good kid, so that I didn't put too much stress on my mom. What's something you've taken from our home that you want to carry into our future, or to my future? Definitely God. He's helped our family in everything. So taking God into my future definitely is something I want to carry on. How do I see faith lived out in our home, and how has that impacted my relationship with God? So I grew up in a Christian home, obviously. I've grown up in a church. I'm a pastor's son and grandson. So I've been surrounded by God my whole life, which has been great. How has it impacted my relationship with God? It's just been like pretty easy to get to know God because I've grown up with him, really. So it's just been pretty easy to get to know him. So now that I'm older, that I understand more about God, it's just easier to get closer to him from my childhood. Was there a moment where something my mom did or said spiritually really stick with me? During my child years, my mom taught me Sunday school, and she still does, really. So during those years, I've definitely gotten to know God a lot more than I would have if I hadn't have gone there, and if my mom especially hadn't have been there as well. She's been a great teacher, especially with God. Last question, if I could describe my mom as a mom in 3 words, or give her a title, what would it be? It's probably been picked already, but greatest mom ever. And if I couldn't pick that one, I'd pick best hairdresser ever. All right, thank you. Happy Mother's Day. I love you, Mom. I forgot it was Mother's Day.